The purpose of this video is to give an overview of what my channel is about. This channel is to document my journey of remote viewing and explore esoteric topics. So, my name is Brian. I am an amateur remote viewer. A little bit of background of myself. I am a former Marine. I served during 2018 and 2023 active duty as an infantryman. And I started remote viewing uh, February this year, 2026. And I want to go into what kind of led me up to this point of actually practicing remote viewing. So, after I got out of the military in 2023, in the beginning of the next year, I decided to go to massage therapy school because I didn't really know what to do. I wanted to try something new. And I couldn't really apply my infantry skills out in the civilian world. So I tried it out and I liked it and I pursued a career in it. I've interacted with a wide array of people in massage therapy school. Some were more hippie, some were more like clinical focused. Some are just exploring and expanding their minds with different possibilities, different ideas. So, from what I learned, I know meditation helps with PTSD or general anxiety throughout the day, which I have myself. I believe most people have some form of PTSD rather than uh whether from like how they grew up or like through the military like me. Mine's probably a little combination of both or uh so I decided meditation. Uh felt very natural to me. I did do meditation when I was in middle school one time because I was bored and I was actually able to get into that Zen mode and it felt really nice and I don't know why I stopped, but picked back up on it later in life. And I it yeah, it felt natural. I saw I could get myself into that Zen state pretty easily. I would see like colors kind of like pulsing in my vision. And there's a scientific way of explaining that phenomenon, like like the the light going through your eyelids, and that's how you perceive it. And it could be different colors, or there's a spiritual explanation of that of the associated chakras based off the color on it. But I thought that was pretty cool, so that was my focal point during meditation, and it still is. And it just helps me zone out. And during I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 months of meditation. I mean, I felt good. I believe it effective. One night I couldn't fall asleep at all, so I tried meditating and try to relax my mind to hopefully fall asleep, which I did. But during that in between phase of meditation and going to sleep, I felt a sensation that I have never felt before. And it felt like I was moving incredibly fast, like a lot of G force. You know, that pit in your stomach when you are on a roller coaster or like an airplane when it drops. It's kind of like that. And I was in a lucid dream and I had a feeling that this place was real. So I was looking for key features to see if I can remember anything when I wake up, try to look it up. And I remember I was on a street, I tried looking for street signs, I didn't see any. Uh, I crossed the street, I see a big building, and I thought to myself, seems like a furniture store or something. And I see in the parking lot outside of the furniture store a red truck, and I saw that there was people in it. So I walked up, knocked on the window. There was three people in there, and I they didn't roll down the window, so I kicked the I kicked the door. Then the guy rolled it down. It was a big burly guy with a beard, and there's a radio playing like really loud. It seemed like a foreign language. So I began asking a series of questions to the man, like, what is this town called? What is that building called? What's the history of this place? And he was talking, but the radio was so loud I couldn't understand him. The only word I retained was the word Longsfolg, uh, so obviously foreign. And I got the feeling that I'm gonna wake up, and I did. Just heart racing, sweating. So I began trying to look up Longsfolg. There's no place called that. I looked up on Google Translate, and the only thing they got from it was Scandinavian detected, and it meant Longfollow. So I thought it was like just some dumb dream thing, you know. And just kind of forgot about it for a little bit. About a month later, I was thinking about it again. What if I heard or misheard what he said due to that radio? So I typed in Longsfolg in ChatGPT. What is this? What is a real place that sounds like this? What it came back was Longford, Ireland. I've never been there. The only places I've been out of country was in Asia. So I looked up Longford, Ireland. It's a city I saw on Google Maps. I zoom into one spot randomly. That's literally where I was. It was there was even a furniture store right there. I saw the street I crossed and then the parking lot. And yeah, that was mind blowing. And it began to make me think like there's more to this world and more of the unknown. It interested me so much. So my job as a massage therapist, I worked worked on a client. He's a hypnotist. He's a pretty old guy. Uh, he's very interesting. I would massage him, and we would talk about different phenomenon, like paranormal things, and he would talk to me about like his psychic experiences that he's had. Uh, even talking about uh, people throughout the day go through multiple states of hypnosis. Whether they're like driving, it's just kind of like that zone out feeling. You're just kind of on autopilot. That's a that's hypnosis. So I thought, oh, that's pretty interesting. And then I shared to him that uh, Longford story, and he told me it sounds to me that was like a spontaneous astral projection. I was like, yeah, I guess so. It was pretty interesting. And throughout the months, I would massage him occasionally, and uh, again, we would still talk about paranormal things. He talked about remote viewing, and said it's a very real thing, which I have heard of before because I watch Joe Rogan and Sean Ryan. They bring on interesting guests like that. And uh, he asked me what my personality type was. And I said I was an INTJ. And he said, I think you'd be a good candidate for hypnosis. And I asked him, why do you think that? Because of the intuitive part of the INTJ. INTJ stands for introverted, intuitive thinking and judgment. Being able to immerse myself, being creative, open minded, which I've always been attracted to games like that, where like RPG games, like D&D or Dungeons and Dragons, Skyrim, like Witcher. I just fully engross myself into the world, which I think a lot of people do too. I'm not saying that I'm special, but it got me really thinking about remote viewing. And I began searching for books about remote viewing, and I came across Mind Trek by Joe McMoneagle. And he was part of Project Stargate, which is a program of remote viewing, of being able to gather intel psychically back in the 70s. And then eventually formed into like a CIA thing, and then it got disbanded because for whatever reason they deemed it not useful. But I guarantee there's people in government that still do that if they were able to get good data from that without having to even be there to waste equipment, makes no sense. But in one of the sections, it talked about common things among other remote viewers in the program, like personality tests. And there was multiple personality tests out there, but he hit on Brig Myers, and he said what's common among other remote viewers is they they flip flop between INTJ and INTP. So I was like, oh, well, I'm an INTJ. I didn't take it like multiple times back to back, but maybe I flip flop between those two. I don't know. But I found that very interesting. And I read more into the book and actually taught you how to do remote viewing yourself at home. And he's a believer that everyone can learn how to remote view. And so I tried it, and the first one was a simple box experiment of having someone else put something in a box, and then you're not interacting with the box. It has to be like a blind experiment. You can't pick out the box, move it around, try to guess it. It just stays stationary, and you can't see through the box. And the protocol with it, what he mentioned in the book, was having conversation with uh, either the interviewer, someone that you're talking to, with and writing down data for you of what's in the box. But in my case, my girlfriend was the one that put something in a box, so I couldn't really talk to her because then she might lead me in certain directions. But I would talk to her about paranormal things to open my mind up, different interesting topics, and then I would roll into about 20, 30 minutes of meditation. And then I would take a piece of paper, write target one, and what the book talks about is remote viewing is all about intention and fighting your ego. And you're trying to decipher your subconscious language to your conscious language and try to make sense of it. So I wrote things down. Uh, Key things were I drew a half mustache symbol, and I wrote down possibly a pen, and I also wrote down long, skinny object, glass like, and there were some other shapes and symbols I wrote down too. But after I was done writing down, we opened the box to see what it was, and it was actually a hot glue gun. And the brand name of that hot glue gun was Mr. Pen, and the insignia on it was one of those mustaches. And you can infer that the long, skinny object was the glass like skinny object, maybe. Might be reaching a little bit on that one. But two of those things definitely lined up to it. And that just really intrigued me. I also have watched the telepathy tapes. Uh, and if you have not watched that, please watch that. It's kind of world shattering of it's pretty wild. It's about nonverbal autistic children having psi abilities, and that's all I have to say about that. Once you watch it, you'll see. And I since I've started remote viewing, I've actually got close to God and accepting it. For the longest time, I was atheist, like back in high school, due to a family member leaving a bad taste of religion. So I thought, oh, I'm just by myself. I don't need anything like that. If that's how people are going to act when they are religious. And then even in the Marine Corps, I was agnostic, sure, because I've had paranormal experiences before growing up and even in the military. So I know there was something weird going on with, I was believing it was just residual energy, maybe, because energy can't be destroyed or created. So I, uh, yeah, I got closer to God, and I even made a promise and a code when I first started remote viewing. Give me a sign if this is something I should not be playing around with, and I promise I will not use this for monetary gain. I'm not going to try to remote view like the lottery numbers or any stock things because, in my belief, if you start doing that, you're starting to play around with something you really shouldn't. You might be attracting something really negative. And I've also gotten to really into like religion, ancient religions. I've been reading a lot of books. It's like my mind has been opened up to like hungry for knowledge. I'm hungry for the truth. And I wish to share the truth with people and document my journey of truth seeking, which I believe remote viewing is one of those factors of truth because I know it's real with my experience and I wish to show that to others and hopefully inspire others too. So, to reiterate, I was never part of Project Stargate or I wasn't a gate kid in high school or elementary or any of that. I am just a normal guy. I'm a Marine Corps veteran that was not open to any of this beforehand, but my eyes have been opened up, and I wish to display raw video of how remote viewing works and just document my progress and hone in this skill. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're seeing this video and like to share your experiences with remote viewing, I would gladly read the comments. And I will be posting, I'll try to post weekly of remote viewing sessions. I might change it up of doing coordinates or maybe box experiments. And maybe if there's enough traction, I would do live video and have comment suggestions of maybe coordinates somewhere, and I'll try to remote view that. Just know it's hard to credit myself of being truthful because I can easily look something up on my laptop while I'm meditating or something like that and fake it. But you're just gonna have to take my word on it. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not gonna promise anything extravagant of remote viewing. I'm still pretty new at it. I'm It'd probably just be interesting points of the earth. Nothing like the Vatican or trying to remote view like Epstein's Island or something like that. Um, just purely informative and hopefully inspirational. But that is pretty much it.